In today's video, we take America's favorite engine and we improve it. Alright, welcome back. First things first, let me go ahead and grab the cargo. And I'm going to go ahead and do this in the external view whilst I talk to you a little bit about this particular truck. So what we have here is a Peterbilt 579. It's a 6x2, so that's just one driven axle, but two at the back. It's a day cab. It's very few extras. Chrome mirrors at the front because there's no plastic option, plastic bumpers or fenders, etc, etc, etc. And under the hood is what Cummins say is America's favorite heavy-duty truck engine, the ISX15. This is the 450 horsepower version, 1650 foot-pounds of torque. It may not be the favorite variant of this engine, but it'll do. And that's mated up to an Eaton Endurant HD. That's a 12-speed automated transmission with a 3.25 final drive. So this is a fleet truck. There's not much else to say. You've got the bare essentials and that favorite engine. And what are we going to do? Well, this video is just to showcase as much as we can the under the skin changes that I've made to this engine. There's nothing wrong with the stock ISX15 torque curve, except it's not as accurate as Cummins would have you believe. So I have gone under the skin and I've revised that torque curve, and I've tweaked the gear shift points as well to give what I believe is a more accurate variant of this particular engine family. Once we get going, that is. And I should really have been talking less and driving more, but there we go. So, 450 horsepower rated, 1650 foot-pounds of torque and a 12-speed transmission. Tall enough to give us reasonable cruising, but not so tall. And we are hauling today about £41,000 worth of cargo. We have an urgent delivery, but there's going to be a night stop here. And first things first, we can amble along down this road at 25 with cruise on. This truck is quite content. I've boosted the low-down torque to reflect Cummins figures. I think you'll like the results. I know I certainly do. So we're going to turn left down here. Might even get a green light if I'm lucky. And then in short order we're going to be on the freeway, so I'm going to keep quiet for the time being, and I'll catch up once we're on the freeway or highway or whatever it's called.
Keep left and then turn left. Turn left.
I guess that was pretty typical. As soon as I get going on the highway, I've got to pull off for a way station check. Now, I gotta stop at some point in this trip. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and stop here. This might make life a little easier. Tomorrow morning it'll be a little early, but it'll be a nice clean run. And I should probably have taken the right side of the island here, but there we go. Oops. Let's see how much this combination weighs. Don't think it's going to be that heavy. It's a small cab. Okay, £73,500. Yeah, that's not so heavy. Alright, let's go and park up for a night stop. Alright, welcome back. Probably going to edit out all of the manoeuvring to find somewhere to park, because there's not much to see. Anyway, it's the small hours, so 2 AM give or take. I've just got the truck started and we're going to get back on the road. I don't expect to be much traffic at this time of morning. Give us a nice clean run to our destination, and this isn't urgent. We've got to get there about 6:15, 6:30, that's my target, and that's the start of the opening window. I think we can get there as late as 7:45, but I don't want to be doing that. Just going to treat this truck with kid gloves while she's still fairly cold. That's what I do in real life. And I think we're able to get up to 60 once we, yeah, I think we can. And that's good news. So I can just take my time, be a little kinder to the engine that way. Yep. One of the biggest changes that I've made to the torque curve and the gear shift points is I made the engine a little keener to rev in the lower gears and quite a bit less keen to rev in the upper gears. So in the lower half of the gearbox, it's going to rev a little higher than the stock. The stock will rev it to 1500 RPM. This mod will take it to 1525. It's only a small difference on paper, but you do notice it on the road. At higher speeds, the stock engine will take it up to 1500 revs. This version will take it quite a bit less. 1400 give or take, depending on the gear. And that will save fuel, and you don't lose that much in terms of performance unless you're going up a hill, in which case give it enough power, it'll switch to high power mode and take the revs up quite a bit higher. I hope you can't hear that ticking, because I certainly can. So this is not the most powerful engine in the game by any stretch. Rated at 450, it's a little higher, but it's no ball of fire. But that's not what this engine's really about. It's to give you that 15 litre power, at least on paper, and that's in terms of size, with reasonable efficiency. So the idea is it's a fairly unstressed engine. You can get an ISX12 with 425 horsepower and the same torque. Now I do like that engine for different reasons, and maybe I'll mod that one too. But right now, this mod is to make the ISX15 feel a bit more like a large engine rather than a small engine with a big number on paper. Of course, there's a good reason why I've chosen this particular ratio. This is doing about 1150 RPM at 55 in top gear. that puts it midway between the 13 speed, the stock 13 speed, and stock 18 speed. It'll cruise happily enough at 1100 RPM, which is what the 18 speed will do. But at this kind of speed, in this gear, this engine and this truck has been wonderfully efficient given the stock configuration. And what I mean by that is that the stock engine needs 1100 revs to cruise. So you can force it to drive along at 55 in 18th gear and it'll do it. Come to a small uphill gradient, it pretty much has to drop a gear, but it won't, it'll drop 2 gears, and that's kind of annoying. It annoys me when I use the gearbox in automated mode, so I want to tune that out. I've spent many miles trying to get that as close to how I want it as I can, and mostly it works. Mostly. Future David here. I'm going to fast track at 8 times speed through this section because other than watching the lighting change, there's not much to see. The thing's just cruising along very happily.
Exit right.
Okay, that's our exit then. A little bit of engine brake, and I don't think we need to stop up here, which is great. Time-wise, made good time. Haven't had to cruise along at 60, been able to drop that to 55. Really happy with the progress that we've made, and mileage-wise, seems to be doing good as well. So a real gentle drive, this one. And you wouldn't think we've got 41,000 pounds behind us, which is really what I wanted to feel with this size engine.
Keep left and then turn left. Turn left. It's all over now.
I think I'm going to try the difficult parking today, because it's a good chance to showcase the engine, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look too hard at all. Oh. Well, it might be a little harder than I first thought. I've got to back it into that corner there with some stuff in the way. Alright, well, if I use this big space to my right to turn the thing around, and I've got a fairly short truck, which makes life a little easier. Short truck, long trailer, that's easier. Plus, unlike the Kenworth W900, when I lean out the left window like this, I can actually see behind me. That's a big help. There we go, just about got it in. I think it took me 2.5 to 3.5 attempts. I got really close to some of the obstacles, but I guess I had to. Right, well, hopefully you've enjoyed this trip. I'm probably going to edit out a lot of the boring cruising. But the point is that the new torque curve I've given the X15 means you can short shift a lot happier now, and it's reflected in your mileage. So Let's see what we've got on this trip. So remember, this is a £74,000 load, give or take. It's a 15-litre engine with 450 horsepower. And it's only a 200-odd mile trip, so it's not the best for efficiency. And there you go, 222 miles and 30.6 gallons. That is just over 7. 7.2, yeah, about 7.273. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, you know what to do. If not, you also know what to do. Thanks for your support. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.